First COSECA, Executive Secretary of COSECA, and also former CPP Executive Secretary. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Please correct me. General Secretary, not Executive Secretary.
No, we don't have Executive Secretary.
General Secretary. I beg your pardon. Nana, the eyes you are using to look at me this morning is very scary.
No, I'm just looking at something. Don't worry.
Happy Mother's Day to you in advance.
Thank you. I hope we automatically qualify for the coupon.
Automatically. So yes. We can have dinner together.
For us, the women who come on the set.
Yes, automatically.
So it's automatic. Okay.
Yes, we'll go together.
So every woman who comes here, you are invited to dinner at TV3 on Sunday.
Take your time. You are invited.
What about the other women?
I'll review the list and decide. Also, we have in the studios with us this morning, National Communications Team member of the NDC, Shahadatu Al-Hassan. Hello, my dear. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's great to have you, and a very happy Mother's Day in advance to you.
And
also.
Happy Mother's Day to you too.
We'll be joined.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you. I think this is the first time I'm having you on the show.
Sure, this is my first time.
Great having you. We'll be joined shortly by Rabi Salifu, Deputy Communications Team member, Deputy Communications Director of the NPP. She's on her way. She's a few minutes late, but Nanaya.
Yes.
I know we've spoken about this Cecilia Dapaah issue so many times, but this issue doesn't seem to go away.
Yeah.
And now it appears that the actual issue has been put on the back burner, and the focus has shifted to the agencies that are supposed to investigate this matter and bring it to a finality. What do you make of this back and forth?
Good morning. Good morning to your viewers, and good morning to my sister. And good morning to everybody. Good morning to my friend Abdul Latif Dan, MP for Ablekuma Central. And happy Mother's Day to my mother, Mrs. Constance Jantua, who is 95 years old, in advance. My dear, I don't understand what is going on, the backwards and the forwards. And really, I don't understand it. It is becoming some waste of our time. We've gone through the motions. Somebody steals a minister's money, it is taken to the police station. My only problem is, I always ask myself, if this is stolen money, why did somebody steal your money and you take it to the police station? Like using, we have a term, using we money to buy we. I mean, somebody is thief man who. So it's like, what is going on? Then we move on into investigating the matter itself. OSP says this, Attorney General says something else. Now FBI even comes in. We go all the way to FBI. Then now we are back to EOCO. From the very beginning, why didn't we take that? Because I believe OSP can investigate everything.
OSP can only investigate corruption and corruption-related activities.
So this one is what?
Money laundering.
They suspect
money laundering.
So if they suspect money laundering, why don't they go ahead and investigate?
Yes, so OSP sends the docket to EOCO because they have the mandate.
I listened to the EOCO boss
to investigate
and
money
she says
laundering.
that what she has seen, the evidence is very little. That is what, I mean, it's as if there is no evidence to the fact that it is money laundering. Well, I listened to her on radio.
Okay.
So I'm like, if that is what it is, why are you wasting everybody's time? Seriously, if there's a suspicion of money laundering, why don't they investigate it? I don't think EOCO is the only body that can investigate. If EOCO is running now, what about the CID? Money laundering is a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
So if the EOCO is unable to investigate, why don't they take the matter to the Criminal Investigation Department?
In fact, the CID has been invited to investigate some parts of.
It's not parts.
The source of the monies.
Not so, because you see the source. You are suspecting money laundering. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Evidentially, it is there. One body said they don't see, depending on their jurisdiction, or depending on what they are supposed to. They say they don't see that matter in there. There is another body. I mean, when it comes to the CID, they start the investigation. Even sometimes they don't have any suspicion. They can go ahead and investigate and get to the bottom of the matter. So if there's suspicion of money laundering, which is also a crime, why don't they take it to the CID? Seriously speaking, because it is becoming a waste of our time. Every morning we get, yesterday, Professor Jena Nopokwa went around some of the centers. For me, she's a woman. And we should be talking about some of these things, because for me, it doesn't matter the party that she belongs to. As long as it's a woman that has been given this high honor. And she went around telling the EC they should do the right thing. I think it should be something we should be looking at and talking about. Even the EC, the way they are conducting themselves, which is not good enough.
You don't think that when, like, a matter of involving a former minister of state, okay, she's been suspected first of corruption and corruption-related activities. The Office of the Special Prosecutor doesn't see corruption, but suspects money laundering. It has referred this to EOCO to work on.
But I'm surprised I'm surprised that the Special Prosecutor is running away from the matter.
He's not running away from the matter.
My dear, you see, when you talk about money laundering concerning an ordinary person, you get me, you don't bring in corruption because it is an act that maybe the person has been involved in. This is a minister. You said behind the scenes, you said what work does she do and all that. This is a minister we've seen some money, going round in her house.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Too much money.
Too much money. In your estimation, somebody's estimation,
it's not much.
It's not much.
That's correct.
So the point is that if this money is found, there's some level of corruption. If you say that you see money laundering,
you think that money laundering and corruption are related?
When it's a public person,
it's related.
It's related, because then the questions come: how did you get the money? How were you bringing money across? Do you understand? So it is. So I don't see why OSP is running. OSP can investigate it to the end of it.
Actually, some people have said that money laundering can be a corruption-related activity.
Yes, it is.
So that if the OSP is seized with a mandate to investigate corruption and corruption-related, then that should cover money laundering. However, because EOCO has the mandate to investigate money laundering.
You went to FBI and you've been able to find out that there is some aspects, suspicion. It is not, if somebody is suspected, it doesn't mean this thing. So you have seen it. You also investigate corruption. It is not limited. I remember the OSP came to tell us that his job is not limited only to corruption. His job is, he can even come to your house and look at things, even on suspicion. So he also has the mandate and the power to investigate. He's an investigative body.
So you think that he ought not to have gone to EOCO?
Yeah, because if he feels that EOCO and Co are not making it easy for him to get to the bottom of, why doesn't he do it himself? I don't think anybody will stop him from doing it, as long as you're saying there is a suspicion that he's been able to figure out, and that's from the FBI and wherever, when he went abroad and they did their investigations, the aspect of the money that was coming abroad is money laundering. Money that has been, being brought from the US through some criminal activities. Because money laundering is a crime. And OSP, you can investigate crime. You investigate corruption. Your scope is wide-reaching. So I don't see why backwards and forwards EOCO says this one. Say you have the authority to investigate. So if they don't want to investigate and you want to do the right thing, go ahead and investigate. I don't think anybody will stop him. When he does it, and at the end of the day we don't want to listen, he should publish his results, so we know. Yes, he should publish whatever result. He should publish it for us to know. If government is not interested, nobody is interested, whatever it is, he should publish it. So I don't see how he has the power, he has the mandate, and he's depending on other institutions to do it for him. How is that? I'm asking you.
Okay.
He should do it himself.
Okay.
Because if he's having challenges, he should do it himself.
Okay.
He has the power. Office of Special Prosecutor, which was formed by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to deal with issues like this. So he should not give it, because when His Excellency Nana Addo formed this OSP, there was EOCO.
Yes.
there was CID, there was Attorney General's office, and he said there is the need for Office of the Special Prosecutor
to focus on corruption and corruption.
It's only for. You were here when he came and he said that his mandate is wide-reaching.
Yes, but since there is an office to investigate money
and the office
laundering,
is saying I haven't
so
seen.
for example, the OSP would not investigate stealing or armed robbery because because that doesn't fall within his mandate.
But stealing can be corruption.
So
stealing can be corrupt if a public official steals.
So if there's an element of corruption, then he would investigate it.
I'm saying that what is corruption?
Okay.
Corruption is stealing.
Okay.
Taking money that does not belong to you as a public officer.
Okay.
Do you get me? So what is corruption? So every form of corruption is stealing.
In your opinion, all these crimes that can be described or that can have an element of dishonesty or corruption should fall under the ambit.
I am telling you that corruption is
of the
stealing.
Special Prosecutor.
If you see, I have a pot to cook. My pot, I believe, is not maybe big enough for this. I say, oh, Ashoko, lend me your pot. You say, I won't give my pot to you. I will cook with my pot, no matter how small it is. I will cook and deal with it in the manner that will suit me. You have gone to EOCO. EOCO says, I can't find evidence. You find your own evidence. You have the power to investigate. You even have the power to go to the FBI. How many institutions in Ghana can go to FBI? He took pictures with the FBI boss. It was on front page. So you have gone to take this. Then you come back, you hand the thing over to somebody. No. Do it to the end of it. So that we know that, yes, indeed, what you went in for, it has been done, period. So they should stop this spectacle in the media of these public institutions.
They went to FBI because of a suspicion that some of the monies had come in from the United States, from a lady who was supposed to explain how she sent this money in and why she sent it in and whether she declared it when she was coming into the country. Yes. So the FBI involvement was to handle the part of monies coming from outside the country.
I don't have a problem. Now, I am saying that you have gone to the highest body when it comes to investigations. In America, if they say the FBI is after you, you are in trouble. Do you understand? You have gone to the FBI. The FBI has been able to help you establish certain things.
Yes.
Certain issues have been settled, established. So you come back. You are having problems with the institutions that have to deal with it. You yourself, you have the capacity to investigate. So investigate and take your reports to the Attorney General. But this is what I found. Leave it there and let's see what happens. I mean, as simple as that. Because I don't see why we are. So what do you want to do that? EOCO should investigate by all means. Me, I always don't put things.
Why not?
Yes, but EOCO is saying I haven't found the evidence.
The Attorney General is telling EOCO to cease investigations.
That's what I'm saying, that the Attorney General, I listened to him. He's also saying that there is no evidence of money laundering.
Okay.
So my problem is that the OSP, whatever report that makes him suspicious, whatever was given to him from the US, now it's become a public thing. He should bring it out for all of us to see. There are lawyers in this country. They will read it. There are people who are intelligent. So we know that he will say that this is the paper I have. The paper says that there's a suspicion of money laundering. Period. Why is he hiding it?
All right. We've just been joined by Rabi Salifu. You're welcome.
Thank you, Nana.
Deputy Communications Director of the NPP. But before I come to you.
Of the great NPP.
That's great.
Of the great new patriotic party.
I see. You're welcome. It's great to have you.
Good to have you too.
All right. I'll come to you, Ms. Hada, too. Okay. What are you impressed with how the various agencies that are supposed to investigate this matter and bring it to a close have handled it so far?
Now, good morning to you once again and to my colleagues. I think it's been a long time I met with Rabi. As for Nanaya, we met just last week. And happy Mother's Day in advance to both of them and to you too. Now, let me first of all applaud the Vice President, the incoming Vice President, Her Excellency Professor Nana Akufo-Addo. Yesterday, she went around the registration centers to observe what is going on, and I think it's It's a wonderful job from her. And we also using this opportunity as women to encourage Jane Mensah to be up and doing. Because as at yesterday in my constituency, for instance, in my center, we were able to only register 18 people.
Which center was that?
Ayawaso North constituency, which is at Rich.
Okay.
Yes.
How many for first day? The
first day was 3. Yesterday was 18. Yesterday it started smoothly in the morning, and then later everything stopped. And then
do you have an idea of how many people
the turnout?
The turnout was about more than 100 people.
Oh, sure.
So we were able to register.
What happened?
Yesterday, your media house was there. No, the system was not working.
It wasn't working.
And so we want to take this opportunity to urge Jane Mensah to be up and doing whatever it is that has to do with the machine. At least let's know what is happening. There should be a backup if it is the network problem. We shouldn't be facing this problem when we have targeted 630 something people to be registered.
622,000.
Very well. And so I think she should be up and doing.
All right.
Now, on the issue of Cecilia Dapaah, somehow I feel very ashamed as a Ghanaian. It's disgusting, if I should use that word, if it is right for me to use that word. Now, we are under the leadership of the same president who promised Ghanaians to protect the public purse. We are still under the leadership of the same president who said that if you're coming into my government to make money, then forget about it. We are still under the leadership of the president who his aim was to fight corruption and fight corruption and fight corruption. Now, if you look at what is happening under this government, there have been series of scandals under this government. Scandals upon scandals. We cannot mention all. We have Charles Bisu case, we have Pius, we have SML scandal, we have Ejapade. We can't mention them all. But what is so disgusting about this issue of Cecilia Dapaah is that for the first time in this country, we see 3 institutions, anti-corruption institutions, fighting among themselves publicly, which is very shameful.
Are they fighting?
That is how I see it. That is how I see it. Now let me give this scenario so that listeners or watchers will understand. You work with Media House, Media General. Let's assume an example, you earn 5,000 in a month. You have a side business which earns you 2,000 a month. And so because Media General takes care of your clothing, your fuel, your electricity, your water and everything, you're able to save enough from that 5,000 you earned. You're able to save from your side business to at least save some money. And so if money is found in your room now, you can easily give an account of how you earned that money. You can easily make an account of it because you worked for it. You saved it yourself. So you can easily give an account of what happened, how you got that money. Now, I was expecting His Excellency Nanado to learn from Mahama because we all saw what happened to Victoria Ama when she had a mere ambition of earning $1 million, which I will also do because we all love money. She was sacked. Just by having that ambition, she was sacked. Now, another woman in power, a minister of state, has been found with $1 million in her room, 300,000 pounds. And then the next thing we hear from the same president who says, I am coming to protect the public purse. From the president who says, if you're coming into my government to make money, then forget about it. The next thing we hear from that president is that, my dear Cecilia Dapaah. And then in the end, he said, I believe that your integrity will be established. Now, this is a very high way to how the case should be directed. I am very ashamed of what is happening. Again, I don't want to blame any of these 3 institutions, even though I have to. But the letter from the president to Cecilia Dapaah has given a direction for which the case should be going.
You think the president's letter prejudiced the way the special prosecutor EOCO and the Attorney General will do their work?
Of course. For the first time, I don't know. I stand to be corrected. I don't know. I can't find it anywhere in the constitution of this country that EOCO would have to write to the Attorney General seeking advice on how to handle a corruption issue.
It wasn't a corruption issue that they were referring to. They were referring to
money laundering.
Suspicions of money laundering.
So how then should EOCO seek advice from the Attorney General, who sits in the same cabinet meeting with Cecilia Dapaah, who the president refers to as my dear?
What is your point? The Attorney General does work with EOCO and does work with the Ghana Police Service.
Okay.
Yes.
And
I am saying that the letter the president wrote to Cecilia Dapaah has given a direction to all the institutions, all the agencies. And so EOCO says, I write to seek advice from the Attorney General. Now, this is...
What's wrong with that?
That is why I said I stand to be corrected. I don't know if it is constitutionally mandated.
Yes. EOCO works with the Office of the Attorney General.
So the Attorney General is the one who prosecutes.
In fact,
it.
it's even supposed to be encouraged for them to work in
Rabbi, wait, your time will come.
No, we support it.
So as I am saying, the same president who created and appointed the special prosecutor, we were in this country in the same case of Cecilia Dapaah, says that he's been heckled, he's not being allowed to do his job, he's being frustrated, and that he's doing his bit. When the time comes, he leaves. And then Tiwa comes in. Tiwa, who we all, expecting that at least she could redeem her image with this case of Cecilia Dapaah. Because we saw what happened with the Tardy girls. We saw what happened with when A+ placed charges on, Abu Jinapo and the rest. We saw what happened. And so we're expecting that at least Tiwa will redeem her name with this issue. And then she also comes out and say that, oh, I cannot be fighting the unfightable, I cannot be fishing out things, and that this case has already been directed by who?
She said the case has been directed?
This case has already been directed. And that she's returning back the docket to the special prosecutor. On the 6th, that is what she said. Yeah. Only for the written statement to come that she had already returned the docket on the 3rd. So what is happening? The question I ask myself is, who has a share in this $1 million? Is the president have a share in the $1 million?
Why would you say that?
Because what is it about this case that almost all the 3 anti-corruption agencies are running and fighting over?
The fact that they cannot find any evidence,
what
any incriminating evidence.
Look, the moment Cecilia Dapaah started changing her charge sheet, there is a problem. Because in the beginning, it was her mother's funeral donation.
Her brother.
The next time, it was her brother. The next time, I think I don't know whether it's Rabbi or Helen. The next time, it was a cosmetic shop she owns and all that. And then they keep on changing it. And so that is why I said I was expecting the president should have even at least given Ghanaians some space to think and then work around this issue before issuing that letter to Cecilia Dapaah. That is how I feel that, no, there is a forces behind this case that we are not making any headway.
The point is that there must be evidence of wrongdoing, isn't there?
You can't just...
There must be evidence of wrongdoing.
Sure.
Yes. And so in the absence of that evidence, it makes it difficult to prove any guilt.
So why then should the special prosecutor say he's being heckled by who? He's being frustrated by who? What is stopping him from? Nanaya said that the report he has so far, how far he has gone, he should publish it. Why is it difficult for him to publish it? Isn't it so obvious that there is something shielding this woman? There's something shielding this whole issue that we cannot lay our hands on.
The special prosecutor has found no evidence of corruption.
What has he found so far?
A suspicion of money laundering.
What has he investigated so far? When you say, I don't understand. Of course he has done something. The docket has been with him.
You don't want to back again.
Is he trying to say that he has not done anything on that matter?
He has.
So,
and after he finished, he realized that he couldn't find any evidence of corruption.
So bring out the reports you have.
So he gave it to EOCO.
They should bring it out. What is stopping them from bringing so far what
they
they
should
have?
Publish the documents.
Publish the documents they have so far.
Okay.
I am not saying that it is corrupt. I am not saying it is money laundering. I am not saying that hook or crook there is something. But at least whatever you have done, whatever reports you have with you that indicates that no, it is not money laundering, said by the Attorney General, that we are not able to find anything corrupt about this whole issue. At least bring out the reports, because this issue is in the public domain.
Okay.
And I am sure that everybody is interested to know what exactly it is.
But the special prosecutor has constantly informed us about their findings. But you are asking that they should publish the entire document.
They should publish the entire document and let Ghanaians understand what is going on, because the whole world is watching. And then our agencies in public domain, the Attorney General says, no, you cannot say it's money laundering. And then EOCO say, no, there is nothing, there is little to investigate on. And then the special prosecutor comes to say that I am being heckled, I'm being frustrated. What is it? Who has that money?
Rabi,
Is Cecilia Dapaah keeping that money for someone?
why do you keep saying that?
Because I don't understand. Because now, if it is you, if it is me, by now this case has making a headway.
If they had found evidence of wrongdoing.
If it is you, of course by now they would have found evidence
so
of
you
wrongdoing.
think there's evidence, but they are intentionally ignoring it?
Of course. Now what else are we expecting?
Okay.
When the president is saying that, my dear Cecilia Dapaah, and then in the end he says,
what is wrong with saying my dear?
Oh my sister, this is an issue that every Ghanaian is worried about. Okay. $1 million is not just a small money.
Yeah.
$1 million. So everybody is wide open, looking at it, wanting to see how it will end.
Okay.
Couldn't the president have taken his time before written that letter?
Okay.
Couldn't don't you think that letter could manipulate something? That is how I see it.
Okay.
I think that our agencies look, this whole thing justifies what Matiamidu said, that Nanado is the mother serpent of corruption.
All right, I'm going to go to Rabi now. Rabi.
Now, so do you know why I keep looking at you?
Why?
It's the pearls.
Oh, on my shirt?
I'm a pearls person.
Oh,
honestly.
I see.
I love pearls.
Thank you.
And it's probably because I'm very dark in complexion.
Okay.
So it brings me out when I wear pearls.
Yours are very lovely too.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Me from Auntie Nanaya, Nanaya, and Ama Nanaya. Nanaya.
Rabi, what do you make of the back and forth between our agencies on this matter?
I want to start on the note of the limited registration exercise that is ongoing. You know, ours is a political party that I'll always say is very organized, very focused, and would always get things done properly.
Okay.
We have done series of trainings and engagements and everything, even from IPAC to within our party, going to the region, to the constituency, and to the polling station. So we have done extensive trainings, organizations, and now ongoing with mobilization. Okay. And what makes ours unique is the fact that we don't even just mobilize our party sympathizers or people who are presumed to be people who will sympathize with us. We see it as a democratic right, and what we do is encouraging people, just in a way of supporting the Electoral Commission, to get first-time voters or first-time registers to come and register in this process. Now, it is just unfortunate that in terms of their logistical resources, I may put it, they are quite challenged when you look at the machines, when you look at their operatives and all that. But it's so nice to know that yesterday they issued a statement. I don't know if you've seen the press release. I have the soft copy, and I'm sure Nanaya had chanced it. They are talking about going to the manual point, that if today they start with the process and are still challenged with this internet or technical issues, they will go manual, and then the registration process would go on. So I wish to also say sorry to those who were frustrated or who just couldn't have it in ease. And tell them, yes, I of course, I'm a Ghanaian. I respect the EC, and speaking for the EC is not a bad thing. So I'm on behalf of EC telling the people that were frustrated that, look, it's sad that they went through that. But with the manual registration they are shifting on to, I am pretty sure the operations will be done properly. Now I'm talking about Madam Cecilia Dapaah. I said it here with Bella, and that day was Nanaya. Then the other time was Beatrice Anna. That is as simple as the fact that the NDC wouldn't have gotten any moral right in this country to sit on any national platform to talk about issues of ethics, conduct, competence, and corruption. But for issues of this kind, and that is not to say Madam Cecilia Dapaah's case has been finalized on, or any issue of corruption has been established around her. I'm just saying, if things of that sort hadn't happened, trust me, there is no way they would have gotten that strength to even bring out their face on it. But let's say nature is nature. Things happen the way they are supposed to happen, and God rules stuff the way He wants to get them done. The issue of stakeholder collaboration, I'm glad Sada said she doesn't know, and that I think it's only fair to take it light on anyone, including myself, who doesn't know what we are putting across. Now, for the EOCO to write seeking advice from the special prosecutor,
from the Attorney General,
Attorney General, like you asked, is there anything wrong with that? You are my host. They are my co-panelists. If I'm here talking and I wish to seek advice or comment or something, for the sake of our efficiency in democracy, for the sake of effective implementation of whatever rule of law and policies we have in this country, it is even supposed to be encouraged. And that's why Nanaya will always tell you they should get back to the drawing board. And I'll always support that. And all effective people and people who are forward-looking in this country would say, until you collaborate, until you seek advice from each other, until you work together, you aren't going to get the required results we have. Now, what's the point? So should she be hanged if there isn't any establishment? The issue of speculation and presumptions, yes, you can feel free to do that if that's your line of communication. If all you want to do is to come and sit and keep speculating and saying things that are not factual, that is your choice. But what we are saying is that it's a legal process, it's supposed to be investigated, and until the merits of the case is established, nobody should be pushed around on any grounds.
What do you say to people who say that the initial letter, and Tada too even said it, the initial letter from the president sort of suggests or prejudices how the case will go? Because he said that he was certain
I don't even find it prejudicing.
That by the end of investigations, you know, her innocence will be established.
It was just expression of confidence in his own appointee. Okay. He knows her. And you see,
do you think it was premature because it was yet to be investigated? And so perhaps it would have been best for the president to wait. He may contact her privately, but when he sent us an official letter, then it suggests that he's directing how the case should go.
Now, observations are well noted. If people weren't satisfied with it, it's not everything that you do should be correct or being satisfied with.
So the president was wrong.
But what I've always said it here, I don't find anything wrong with what he said, because this is somebody who works with him. Look, I don't like giving a certain posture on this case, because I did admit, and I'll always admit, that there was a wrongdoing in this instance. What's the wrongdoing? For Madam Cecilia Dapaah to have kept that amount of money at home, nobody will shamefully come to defend this. Even she herself have realized her mistake at this point. But what we are also saying is that for the president to also come up boldly to tell Ghanaians that this is a woman whom I knew, and I still know her, I have worked with her, I have seen that she has worked in different capacities in this country, Nanaya is more or less like an age mate of hers, and people who agree with her would tell you that she isn't just somebody who just rose overnight and just got an appointment to be the Minister of Water and Sanitation, and then now getting this amount of money. She did work with Kufuor. She did a lot of businesses and the cosmetics and all that. And trust me, that amount of money, people have multiples of that in this country. As business people, as individuals.
Yes.
But what I am saying is that what only makes her case murky is the fact that she is a politician. And that's where our lives are always endangered, including all of them seated here. Look, the truth of the matter is that now today, if you pick a Range Rover Vogue today, then tomorrow you are driving a Ferrari, next tomorrow you are driving maybe probably a Bentley or something. And I do say, trust me, the number of people who will be interested in why I should use that will be more than the people who will be interested in you. You know why? Because I have given my hand in the political space.
Because you manage public funds.
Perfect. I don't even manage at the moment, but I know I'll manage public funds.
I mean...
But you see, me also leaving it doesn't limit or doesn't just say strictly that I'm utilizing public funds to do that.
Yes.
What is most important in this case is the investigation that is supposed to be done with the merits or the truth of the fact. And that is what you said. If they can't establish any truth, remember, like Nanaya said, there are lawyers in this country. And I'm glad that now the NDC is even catching up with us in terms of the lawyers and all that, though they always come back to attack the Ghana Bar Association. But what I am saying is that even from the other side, we do have good lawyers who would sit and look objectively and genuinely into this case and say, yes, you say she has stolen. What is your proof? What is your evidence? And that is how all the scandals that had to go through, the GIDA, the SADA, the NCA, all that they also supervised over, had to go through. You can't just like you were talking about issues of prejudicing and all that. You can't just presume that because she's a politician, hence whatever is done. So at this point, look now, I want to say that we have been patient enough. We have been consistent on following up. And when I say we, I mean Ghanaians. You, of course, have done it. Our viewers have done it. We have spoken about it. Our stakeholders have also spoken. Opponents have spoken about it. What is most important here is to allow the process to keep going. If the EOCO is being advised to stay away or to get involved or seeking advice or taking advice and all that, all we all are interested in now, the money laundering issue. How did even the lady get the money into the country or outside the country? What was the transaction? What was the purpose? And people are always there to answer. The issue of Atuforsen and Co. Is that not the same thing that is being done? Even at the point when the Zoom meeting was supposed to be organized with the chief director and all that, his wife had to come and sit in and speak to the issue. They told her, okay, now that your husband is in the theater and all that, do we want to talk to the lawyer to look into the next witness who would want to take up this case? So that is the rule of law. That is what makes us a beautiful country that respects democracy and law. And we should allow all to go. Now the moral lesson here is, for me, the younger ones and our seniors, is to just know that, look, if you have eyes on you, don't give chances to be interrogated this month. Do the right thing. When you're not supposed to keep some amount of money at home, I don't think there is anything wrong with being wealthy. Look, the Quran will tell
nothing wrong with being wealthy, but your wealth must be explained.
So
unexplained wealth
so that is
will bring about suspicion.
So you know.
So why won't Madam Cecilia Dapaah honestly share or explain where all these monies have come from?
I don't think she has actually stayed out of the case as well. She's part of the case.
Yes, but
she's provided.
Yes,
I
but she has provided various.
I haven't read anywhere in this country or listened to her or listened to anybody who would come to say she's shying away from answering.
Yes, but she has provided various sources which the OSP has come out to tell us cannot be the source of the wealth.
That is the thinking of the OSP.
It's not practical that, for example, she cited her brother, she cited a factory, and from the OSP's investigations, those sources she cited could not have been the source of the wealth that was found, the $1 million that was found in
$1 million.
Exactly, that was found in her room.
Investigation is still ongoing. We all are against prejudice. What I am saying is that She has her doors open. She even got her house being checked, searched, and everything. That tells you that she has actually demonstrated that sense of patriotic citizenship. If you want to put it in context, not to say she is the most patriotic, but what I am saying is that she has at least not stayed out of the case, and we should give it that flow. We have been following the case, and let's go. And like I'm telling you, she isn't the first to be accused. Even as at now, we have leading members of the NDC still be facing trial and all that. So let's allow it to go. What is most important is how do we check corruption? And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in his speech told us that, look, his vision is clear on several thematic areas, including to build a digital economy and make Ghana a digital hub. Now, how do we link digitalization to corruption? It's what you see at the GRA today. It's what you see on our controller payroll. And how does it work? He says, I want to build a Ghana where we leverage technology. And technology helps you. It's part of it. You can always make linkages. People sit here and digress. There is nothing wrong with that. What I am telling you is that Dr. Bawumia has a clear vision that is linked up to addressing issues of corruption in this country. And it is no wonder they are not too comfortable with me reading it, because it is leading us to the most promised land.
You are deviating from the topic we are talking about.
I'm just linking.
You're deviating from our topic.
I am creating a link.
You're deviating from our topic.
I'm creating a link between Dr. Bawumia's vision and we fighting corruption.
I want you to end. I want you to end your submission by actually answering the question I asked in the beginning.
She asked. We asked issues of corruption.
We've seen the three agencies that are seized with the mandates to handle these issues.
And accuse us, and accuse us of being corrupt. Today we are telling them what we are doing to mitigate that. They don't want to listen.
What you are doing?
You can always create a link now. You can always create a link. You can always create a link. There is so if you are in power, you shouldn't say your case. If you are in power, you shouldn't say your case.
Ladies.
If you are in power and you have
you're trying to create a link between what and what?
Of course, yes. How to address corruption in this country.
Do it now.
But that's what I'm doing.
Yes, but
let it be.
it is even being implemented. Even if you say do it now, we are doing it.
Yes.
Today when you go on our payroll,
you're talking about fighting corruption.
Over 6,000 ghost names cleared completely. Today, nobody can sit and take double salary. So that nobody can sit and take double salary like some of the MPs. Look, now you may care to know that as we sit, sitting MPs now who double as ministers take the same salary as opposition MPs. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
We don't encourage the issue of stealing she spoke about. We don't encourage. Look, it's about enforcement. Nana Ya doesn't want to. She knows what I'm talking about.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor has been set
so let's go back to Cecilia.
has been set up to investigate corruption and corruption-related activities.
It's to the fact.
During his investigation,
nobody digresses. Nobody digresses. Nobody digresses.
I want your final comment on this.
Let's go.
The three agencies
that
have been entrusted with this
digresses on
are going back and forth, disagreeing with each other.
I am creating a link, and there is nothing wrong with creating a link.
Would you let me ask my question?
You broaden your conversation with creating links.
Would you let me ask the question?
Do.
Right.
You are still asking her
No,
question.
I just want her final.
Are you moderating?
Rabi, calm down.
Thank you, I'm cool.
You are not.
I am.
Calm down.
Ask me the question.
The three agencies who we are trusting to be able to bring this issue to a close are going back and forth, disagreeing with each other, and calling each other dishonest and so on, because basically they are not bringing the issue to a close. My question to you is, are you satisfied, speaking for the NPP, are you satisfied with how this case has been handled? And do you believe that the way this case has been handled reposes confidence in Ghanaians about how your government is fighting corruption?
My satisfaction is as clear as what I'm coming to tell you. One, she opened out her doors for investigations to be done. That's a key one and should be given to her. Two, the government hasn't stayed away and hasn't frustrated any process of investigation in this case.
In spite of what the special prosecutor says.
Perfect. Three, what I am urging all of us.
Why would the special prosecutor lie?
I don't know when he lied, and I don't know the lie you are referring to.
Because you say your government has not frustrated the process.
Did he say
but
frustrated
the special prosecutor has said that he's been frustrated.
He spoke about it among other things, and we all sat here to say we don't want any nagging. If he's not mature on the job, he should give way for somebody to come and do it. We have spoken about it. That's not even the case in this matter. What we are saying is that you asked me, How has it been handled? Am I satisfied? And I'm giving you reasons why I would say I'm satisfied.
Okay.
And until we get to the bottom of the whole thing, I wouldn't mark it less or high. What I am telling you is that there is investigation ongoing. All stakeholders should come collaboratively. If somebody will sit this morning and tell you it is not right for anybody or any of the stakeholders to seek advice, that's absolutely wrong. What we are saying is that it is good for them to collaborate. It is good for them not to accuse each other in the process, because at the end of the day, they all want to establish the same goal, and that is all what we are all waiting for as a country.
You're satisfied with how it's been handled?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. I'll read some messages coming in, and then we'll go on to our next topic. Good morning, Na, and your panelists. The Economic and Organized Crimes Office has decided to return the docket of Cecilia Dapaah back to the Office of the Special Prosecutor due to insufficient evidence to proceed with prosecution. This decision made after a thorough review of the available information and in accordance with legal standards required to pursue this case. EOCO's commitment to upholding the integrity of the legal process and ensuring that cases are pursued based on credible evidence is paramount in this matter. We hope that we get there one day. And that's from Mausi Aibe, texting us from the Volta region. No messages coming in. The OSP said that he is Ankwanuma Nimre so beko. Nimre Swameko. All right, that's one of the messages coming in. And this is a call from the ECG, a call to the ECG in Keta to go and take care of one of the poles that has fallen and has caused absolute darkness for 4 days in Keta. So that's the ECG, if you're watching us. Aziz Donla says, it's obviously clear that the incumbent government isn't ready and interested in fighting this Cecilia Dapaah corruption scandal. Certainly, it has been established that Madame Dapaah hasn't been able to defend the source of her wealth. And believe me, one day, the day of reckoning will come. And all right, now Cecilia Dapaah's resignation was written and accepted by the president on the same day, 2nd August. The president was with the Pope in the Vatican. Cecilia Dapaah issued statements in which she herself misspelled her name and used different letterheads. What a farce. The evidence is unexplained wealth. Check what the law says. And finally, Musa Abattoir says, good morning, Na. Everything points to the fact that there's a cover-up going on regarding Cecilia Dapaah's case because EOCO and the AG contradict themselves about the OSP's docket. I'm happy that John Mahama has stated categorically that every corruption case which Akufo-Addo and Bawumia cleared in a questionable manner will be prosecuted accordingly when he comes into office. And I know I said finally, but I'll just read one more. All right, and this is from Stephen Peng in Wa. Good morning, Na. The back and forth in the Cecilia Dapaah case between the OSP and EOCO is staged. Stage managed to blindfold Ghanaians. Remember, the resignation love letter from Cecilia Dapaah and the reply from Nana assuring her that she will be cleared. So now, what do we expect from the state players in this case after the president has said this? All right, and